So, I just watched the Better Call Saul series finale. It's my real emotions and reactions to what I just watched. First off, it is the end of an era. I watched Breaking Bad for the first time in 2020, I believe. Yeah, it was at the height of COVID, actually, and one of my best friends suggested that we watch it together, and it was always on my to watch list. I had a bunch of people talk to me about how good it was, and I was always like, oh yeah, no, I'll watch it at some point. You know how it goes. You get suggested a movie or TV show, and you've heard good things about it, and you're always like, oh yeah, I'll watch it, and you just never find the time to do that. Well, you know, there's nothing to do for about 3 months. We were in quarantine, so there's nothing to do. So we would just watch that every day, as well as play some Call of Duty Modern Warfare Gunfight. That's the best thing about that game. But yeah, we every day we watched it, and we got through it, and it was one of the best shows I've ever seen in my life. It is my favorite show of all time. The drama and just everything about it, like the characters, the storytelling, just the attention to detail, was just unparalleled. Like how tightly woven every episode was, and it complemented each and every episode, where I could never tell you my favorite episode, because literally the entire series is one good episode, one good story. You can't just pick and choose, in my opinion. Yes, you can dabble in which one had the best pacing and which one had the best things happening, but to me, I can never pick a good Breaking Bad episode, because everything is just flawless in my eyes. I remember El Camino, and I remember everyone talking about that, and this is before I even got into Breaking Bad, so I heard everything about it, and everyone was really hyped for it. So I wasn't, unfortunately, I had not gone into the Breaking Bad craze, to understand the hype of a return to that universe. So didn't get to experience that, but I watched it right after, and again, it was amazing. I know a lot of people have their gripes about it, and as with any type of fiction, media, storytelling, criticisms are there just to, express how you felt about a story. It's totally fine, but in my eyes, because a lot of people felt like it was unnecessary, I guess, and I can understand that. I respectfully disagree, a lot. El Camino is Jesse's story, and it ties a nice little bow, on the story. Because Jesse Pinkman dealt with a lot of shit, He did a lot of bad things, but deep down he was a good person, And whenever he tried to make something of his life, Walter White just kind of kept pulling him back into the muck and the grime. And to see him, take Mike's advice and just live his life the way he wanted to, and he moved to Alaska, and he deserved that, Out of a lot of characters in this Breaking Bad universe, Jesse Pinkman really deserved, freedom, He got a bad hand dealt in life, and he destroyed a lot of his life, but at the very ending, he deserved some justice, And it was so nice just to, it was euphoric to see him laughing and crazed laughter when he drove away at the last episode of Breaking Bad. But to see him, mature, take all of the lessons he learned from Walter, from Mike, from Saul, from, Jimmy, all the lessons he learned from all of the greats, and he used it to survive his last ordeal in El Camino, was just brilliant storytelling again. And it was so beautiful to see him ride off into the sunset, And now we got Better Call Saul. And I'm 5 minutes in, I'm just now getting to the reason why I'm making this video. When I first saw this, I think it was like in the 4th season, and I was like really shocked. I'm like, hey, I got a Better Call Saul spinoff. I was like, okay, everyone loves, Saul Goodman. Like, who doesn't like Saul? God, he's one of the best things about Breaking Bad. One of the top greats. Again, so like when I heard that, like, they were gonna do a spinoff, and I saw it, I was like, okay, I'll take a look at it. First episode did not hook me. It did not. I felt like the first episode was like very slow, and I was like, this is kind of like, it felt kind of weird. And I think it's because I just got right off the, cusp of like Breaking Bad and like how grandiose it was. El Camino, another grandiose, big, bombastic, very gritty, TV show and movie. And so going into Better Call Saul, it was a very weird shift, and like, expecting, I was expecting something different again. And I think, unfortunately, a lot of people felt the same way, right? Because you can't help yourself, because you're getting right off of like a finale in series, and like a big movie thing, and then you get into this, and it's like kind of, the clock starts right back again. It's like a whole other, like, back from the bottom, and we gradually see someone, their story, go up. Or in this case, up and down, because they're Breaking Bad. It's like it's down, I guess. But it's like, so yeah, the first episode didn't really hook me. And it showed Tuco, and then it was like these two weird kids that were trying to, get off the law or something. It's been so long since I watched it. But I just know I was very underwhelmed. Then I just kept watching it, because I was like, I want to watch this, I'm very interested. And just like Breaking Bad, it just kept getting better. Every episode. Again, like clockwork. Again, Vince Gilligan and his team. Peter Gould, I think he's a screenplay writer. They just know how to fucking tell a good story. It's just, every episode, just like Breaking Bad, it complemented, each and every episode. All of them intertwined, where I can again say right now, it's just one good episode. I can't pick, I like that one, or I like season better. No, all of it was perfection. Once again, they did it. They fucking, the Mad Lads did it. Another perfect TV show. One that is like at like equal or can even in some conversations rival Breaking Bad, which is insane to think about. That never happens. Once in a blue moon, that will happen with a spinoff. Because spinoffs, spinoffs are made to make money, Like, you don't want a franchise to die off, so you're going to keep making spinoffs. You're going to keep getting that moolah in, But no. Better Call Saul was not just made for money. Like, yeah, it made money. Of course it made money, because it's a fucking amazing show. No. They had a story to tell that we did not know we needed. Like, I did not know that I needed a fucking show like this to talk about Jimmy McGill. I never knew I would ever need that. Because again, Saul Goodman, he was a comedic, side character, Again, very important to the plot, right? Not as if like, I'm just a funny guy. No, he was funny, but he's very important to the plot. But again, never thought I would have needed this in my life. But I did. And I'm blown away by what they delivered. The amount of side characters again in this one are just, again, they just nailed it. Howard Hamlin, God, like a freaking Kim Wexler, right? Like Kim, one of the best characters in this universe. So well written, God, and just seeing her grow, mature, always being by Jimmy's side, having to deal with so much shit in her life too, right? And just seeing all of that. But, oh God, Chuck McGill, God, amazing character too. God, the depth they gave this character, giving him a disease, like electromagnetic disease, something that I didn't even know existed. And I never even knew that it was that much of a problem, but it is. God, it just, everything from HHM, that whole law firm, and everything that had to happen in there. Howard Hamlin, again, never thought I would care about Howard Hamlin, but I fucking did. They fucking made me care about this guy. It's crazy. And then, not only that, we also get some of the origins for Gus Fring, from Mike Ehrmantraut, We get Tuco. We get all these fucking guys in here. And we get some stuff. We even get Walter White, Jesse Pinkman, Hank Schrader, Steve Gomez. We get all of this. It's all beautiful little package. God. See, now I'm kind of like getting into it now. I'm kind of like the wheels are kind of turning, and just like I'm remembering what I just fucking witnessed. It just, God, this show had it all. Had it all. Now, first couple of seasons, very different, It's all about the law, right? And so for a lot of people, it was a big turnoff because, yeah, this is a way different show than Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad was a whole, like, crime drama, And this show is too, but also the very heavily, like, law-based, like court TV shows, not everything like that. And, yeah, very alienating for some people, and that they could honestly find it boring, and I don't blame them. It's not for everybody. And, they took a big, a really big bet, to have a lot of the focus be on, like, everything about Saul and how he became, who he was, and how, like, how he started off from the fucking bottom all the way to the fucking Saul Goodman that we know, we hate and love today. But, like, yeah, it's like, when it first started, like, yeah, it was slow. And I will admit, I much prefer season 1 of Breaking Bad. I think, even though a bunch of people say that it was very slow, I don't believe that. I personally feel like Breaking Bad was, like, up here all the way to the top. I never felt like it was slow. But Better Call Saul, it was kind of slow, I will admit. But I will say, that I think the 3rd or 4th episode got me immediately. I was hooked in. And I remember, just like Breaking Bad, I just kept watching every episode. And I couldn't stop. I remember one night, I think, I don't remember if it was like vacation time or something like that, but I just kept watching it. I just couldn't stop. I just kept, like, I could not get enough of this series. And just, oh God, the stories they tell with Mike Ehrmantraut, God, fuck you, Walt, for killing him, man. Like, Mike is also one of the fucking greatest souls in that show. Like, God, seeing him and him breaking down about his son, just showing that emotion to Mike was just like, again, I didn't know I needed this, but I did. And just, God, I remember watching Breaking Bad, and you feel for Walt, Walter White, and you see where his mind's at, because what Walter White was, because he was a man who just let his life just fucking fade away almost, And then he finds out he has cancer, and then he just fucking just snaps. And he's like, you know what? No, I'm taking life by its reins. Life, I am in control, But again, he fucking went so far gone, though, that he lost who he was. And it is sad. Walt is not a good guy. And we have to remember, God, the things he did to Skyler, right? And it's funny because when I was watching Breaking Bad, I fucking hated Skyler, right? Because in my mind, I'm like, why are you, like, getting at Walt like he's doing all this for you? But you gotta step back and be like, God, the things she had to deal with Walt, being a fucking control freak, God, Skyler was just, God, you have to feel for her. She went through so much. And then she was, attacked, in real life because of, what her character was. And it's unfortunate because it's just toxic. And again, I'm never going to not stop loving Walt, Like, he's a fucking amazing written character, just like Anakin Skywalker. Very random comparison, but, like, characters that I just view as, like, phenomenally written. Because I'm a sucker for seeing characters from here go fucking just straight down into the gutter. I have no idea why. It's probably a problem with me. But I love the degrading nature of, like, seeing someone get corrupt. I don't know why. Again, it's weird. It's just so interesting, because it's like, it's a beautiful dichotomy of, like, feelings, because you see where they used to be, and then you're seeing them as they are right now, which is horrible, but then, like, you still care for them, It's like, it's just a beautiful character arc, and I love watching it in every kind of film or, TV show or anything. So Walter White, he's a horrible man. He did horrible things, but just, you can't help but just feel for him still, because, like, he's living the life that we all live, Sometimes, God, can't you just, some people are living their lives right now, they're fucking doing whatever. But for people like me, people like, just, we're realizing where we are in life, and just, God, a certain turn could have like changed everything, you know. And now we see what happened to Jimmy McGill, you know, seeing why he became Saul Goodman, like why he donned that persona. Also, and again, I'm talking about spoilers now, but like at the very ending though, like you see him, you know, his Gene Tolkovich or whatever I think his last name is, I forgot. But seeing him take his persona, you know, of like, you know, he doesn't want to remember who Saul Goodman is, you know, he doesn't remember who Jimmy McGill is, he doesn't remember anything about himself because he's in hiding. And then he's kind of got a little bit of taste, you know, about what was like being Saul Goodman, you know? And he got so, you know, I'm sorry, hold on a second. I'm dry mouth right now, so. I'm trying to pronunciate better. Sorry. But yeah, just, you saw him in the last couple episodes, he got a taste for it again, and it was so heartbreaking, you know? Because you would think, oh, after all this time, maybe he was fucking thinking of it and I'd be like, yeah, that was a horrible thing. Glad I got away with it. No. He still was Saul Goodman. No matter what he did to himself, he was still Saul Goodman. And seeing him, you know, become Saul Goodman again and using people, you know, and just, again, all for himself was heartbreaking, even though it was fucking great to see. Again, horrible. But, and then when he finally gets caught, you know, in the last episode, you see him, again, it's like you see him, he knows everything that he's doing, and you love seeing people in their element, you know, just being able to fucking do magic, you know, and again, Saul Goodman, fucking life sentence, because he has everything against him, and he fucking finds a way to get fucking 7 years down. I fucking laughed out loud, man. I was like, what? Life sentence to 7 years? Like, what? I was like, he did it again. And then, though, he finds out about Kim and what Kim's been up to and what she did and about how she had, you know, admitted to the whole Howard Hamlin death thing, because, you know, that happened. And again, I'll maybe make a whole other video about, you know, the whole series, because like I can't do it right now. It's just like I want to do other things and there's so much. But right now, though, and then it was beautiful, though, because in the last episode, you know, seeing him confront, you know, whatever her name is, the old lady, Marion, you know, see him confront her, because then she finds out who he actually is, right? And you see him, like, confront her face to face, and, like, you don't know if he's really fucking gone so far that he will hurt, like, an old lady now, like, you know, someone that he stood up for back in the past, he's gonna actually attack now, like, and it was beautiful to see, like, him actually, like, turn into that, and like he's gone so far that even I don't know anymore if he's gonna actually do that. And so even in the last episode, like when it shows him like thinking about Kim, and after like hearing like, oh shit, you know, like because he kept trying to milk it, you know, because he's fucking Saul Goodman, he's gonna milk it as much as he can. And he was like, oh, I have information about Howard Hamlin that, you know, I could give to you guys if you guys give me some, like, you know, nice little things. And like, oh, we don't need that. Kim admitted to everything. And when you see his face, I'm like, he's not going to fuck over Kim, right? And I was just kind of thinking, like, what would they actually do with Saul? Like, they're not going to fuck him, like, do this, right? And I'm like, but they showed him turning, you know, like, he hasn't learned his lessons. Like, will he actually do that? And they don't. They don't. They decided, and I'm like, at first, you know, like, everything that just happened, I'm like, they actually fucking did that. And I was like, what? Because in the teaser, right, it showed, like, the car tipped over, and it shows, and you hear Saul, like, you know, like, rasping. I'm like, oh, they're going to kill him, right? Again, they got me. That was, like, a flashback. It wasn't supposed to be in the future. But so, yeah, I was, like, shocked. I'm like, they're fucking following through with this. And Jimmy admits to everything. He admits to everything. Every fucking thing. But again, there's a little catch. Again, you can't be like, oh, well, I do a lot, baby. No. He does it because kind of like, almost again, like Walt. He got that little pride thing again. And he was like, you know what? And honestly, it is true. He was like, without me, Walter White would just be dead, man. Like, I'm the man. I did all of this. And honestly, he did, kind of. He did. I just gotta admit. I honestly, now that I've been watching it, everyone's been saying this, but like, Saul Goodman, Jimmy McGill, he was the main character all along. It wasn't Walt. It wasn't Walter. It wasn't Heisenberg. It was Saul Goodman, baby. Better Call Saul. Yeah, so I don't know. I do find that funny. Again, he got them down to 7 years, and at the very ending, even though he goes to jail, for life, he'll never get out. It was by his own terms. And again, I fucking love that. With those kind of characters, kind of what happened to Walter. He lost everything. All of his money. The Nazis killed his brother-in-law. His family is like nothing now. And at the end, again, he goes out, he dies, right? By his own hand, right? Because, when he dies, he gets a ricochet bullet hits his chest or his side, Again, the kind of gamble luck for his cancer, it was a luck chance he would survive or not, and he didn't get to survive. But it was by his own hand. It was by his gun, and he took out the entire Nazi fucking camp, and got to have his last word. And again, he went out on his own terms. And again, Jesse Pinkman went out on his own terms. Jimmy McGill, Saul Goodman went out on his own terms. And I'm just, how can I not be satisfied, right? Again, though, the only disappointment I had was just the fact that it's over, right? I'm watching, I'm like, wait, that's the ending? I was like, that's it? I was like, that can't be the ending, right? And I was like, what? Because kind of I'm not anticipating okay, a little bit of me is kind of I'm guessing about what the ending could be like. And when it's not that, I'm just so taken aback. Oh, that's the end? And so I just kind of, I was kind of sitting there for something. I'm like, what? But I'm allowing the process, and I rewatched the last 5 minutes again, and I'm like, God, what an ending, right? You'd think, oh, it's gonna be bombastic, Breaking Bad, El Camino. No, honestly, it's high stakes, but it's very, again, courtroom stuff, laws and logistics and all that shit, and that's all. There's no gunfire, there's no all that kind of stuff. We all had that with Gus Fring and everything, and Lalo Salamanca and all that shit. We had that kind of big finale ending with all of them, right? That's all done now. Now it's Jimmy, and it ends in a courtroom. How perfect could that be? Again, but Jimmy, everyone in the palm of his hand, though. Again, he paid for his crimes, he's in jail now for life. But again, by his own hand. And how perfect could that be, right? Everyone played in the little Saul's hands, and he's still getting on his own terms. How can I not be satisfied, right? Again, the mark of a good storyteller, right? When you have characters though, that do horrible shit, you can't just let them get away, right? You can't let them do that. Jesse, that's different. He tried to get out so many times, and he kept getting pulled back in, but he finally got free. With Saul Goodman, though, he did do a lot of stuff, and he was a lot mastermind behind a lot of stuff. You can't let him get away with it, He has to either die or go to jail, and I thought they were gonna kill him. I did it. I'm like, oh, wouldn't they just make this more for just Jesse to live? But honestly, him going to jail and being the law and everything like that, because getting killed, it's different. But life that's the law, right? And what did Jimmy do his whole life? The law. He messed around with the law, and he still kind of did right now. So it was so fucking beautiful, fucking perfect little, God, so good. So happy. I'm sorry, I'm so happy how good it turned out. Oh God, it's so perfect. I can't get mad at it. I nothing to get mad about. Honestly, you can criticize shit as much as you want. There's a bunch of people in the world that can criticize things, right? And even I do sometimes too. I love stories. I've said this how many times. I've said this, right? But Breaking Bad universe is just perfection. It is just marvelous, and I love it. God, I love it so much. Again, the three things in my life, that are franchises that are ongoing, that I hold so dear to my heart, right? It's Sonic the Hedgehog, One Piece, and Spider-Man. The three things, see Spider-Man right there, and do I have a Sonic thing? Yeah. I got a little Sonic thing right here, and then I got the One Piece shit over here. It's those three things in my life are just so perfect to me, and they have flaws, some of them have, but One Piece doesn't have flaws though. But I love them. Breaking Bad though, this whole series has meant so much to me. It has made me think about so much in life. it is just peak cinema. It's peak entertainment. And I know that joke's been overused so much, but it really is. It's just so perfect. And now I finally, though, I get to watch Breaking Bad again, because I was like, Better Call Saul is like the end, right? Like it's the beginning end kind of thing. So I can't watch Breaking Bad without like finishing it, because it was so close to the end. But now I get to have an excuse just to watch Breaking Bad again, and I'm so happy I get to watch that again. And I get to go through all of it, and I get to do all that again. And I'm so excited because now I get to just now Breaking Bad will be the background TV show I would just have on all the time. I would just always have it on. I will watch that till the end of fucking time. Until I'm on my deathbed, I will have Sonic, One Piece, Spider-Man, and Breaking Bad all there with me, baby. Like, all there with me. All my good stuff in my life, they're right there. Oh god, it was so good. This is perfect. Oh god. Okay, that was my little fan little thing right there. So, as it's shows right there, I think the finale was fucking perfect, peak perfection, amazing. They did the impossible and made one of the best TV shows of all time. God, nothing holds a candle to this. I'm sorry. I don't know how they can do this more than once. Like so many shows fail on their last season. So many good shows too. They always, because again, contracts gotta make stuff faster or whatever. Conflicting, opinions about stuff. But no, Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, those TV shows just were great every season. And after hearing Vince Gilligan say that he's done with this, I'm just so happy to hear that, because we're done. We really are done. And I couldn't think of a more perfect way to end this. Everyone had their respective ending arcs, And God, you could go on forever for all these characters, right? But I think we've had our fill, I think we've done it, like we've delved into this universe as much as we can, we've told our stories, and every good thing must have an ending, and we've had our ending twice now with El Camino and this, and I'm just, yeah, it was perfect. I am so satisfied. I'm very happy. All right, it's all good, man. I'll catch y'all guys later. Good night.